That's good. That's good. We talked about starting your own business and freelancing and consulting. And one of the reasons people often want to do that is to make more money. So what are salaries like? What are salaries like in engineering? People say, oh, I mean, it's doctor, lawyer, engineer, doctor, lawyer, engineer. That's where the money is. Is there really that much money starting out and rising? What's the money like in Belize? And I guess you can give the Jamaican context as well, because you did work here for a little while, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I did 6 months. Yeah. 6 months before.
Okay. Very good. And then Breanne can give us the American side.
Yes, there is money in engineering. At the start, not necessarily so. Honestly, it depends on the industry you go in. For example, you could work at Petrojam, high paying job, but it's an extremely dangerous job to be in, right? I remember working for Petrojam for a while, and you hear they carry you through different safety videos to let you know that there's a possibility of this plant exploding. I would wipe out the entirety of Kingston, right? So, and you're exposed to chemicals all the time. So yes, more money, but way more dangerous. And similarly, I have a friend who works at an aluminum bauxite company in Jamaica. And to give an example, they have stories of you could be an engineer and you work around machines that literally, if the dust from that machine touches you, it melts off your skin. So it really depends on the industry you go in. But there's definitely money there to live comfortably and start a family, get a house, all of that.
I'm still shook. And I think people on the welcome to our company. You could die at any time.
You could die, yeah.
You could blow
show you the video.
What?
Yeah, you leave your phone, they lock away your phones, like extremely strict.
Okay, all right. Breanne, how about you?
You know, it's funny that Colin tells these stories because chemical and process engineers tend to be a little bit on the higher end of the engineering pay scale for the exact same reason that Colin just mentioned. When you're working on an industrial plant, there is a lot more risk there. I think women specifically don't want to be in those types of environments for more than 10 years because it can also affect if you want to have a child in the future. So it's just something to be aware of. The riskier the job, you know, the higher you will get paid, but, you know, it's a give and take, you know, what you're willing to give up. In Florida, I think if you think of Florida in the greater context of the US, engineers in Florida might not be paid that much compared to maybe a California or a New York or a Boston. I think it depends on the industry as well and the company that you work for. If you get in with one of the bigger companies, you can definitely live comfortably. You start at, I would say, right out of school, maybe around the $60,000 a year mark. And as you get more experience, of course, you know, your salary will go up. Once you get into the world of work and you're an engineer as well, what I've heard and what I've seen people do is switch companies and you can kind of negotiate a higher salary, as opposed to if you stay with the company that you're in and you just depend on your raises and promotions to climb the pay scale. It might be quicker if you jump ship and go into a similar industry, and you can kind of negotiate for more pay there. But engineering is definitely a field where you can, you know, just like Colin said, take care of yourself, you know, buy a house, have a family, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I like that you both have contextualized it. So money, pay doesn't really matter. It's what you do with the pay. It's what you can do with the pay. So you could be getting, as Breanne said, 60,000 US, but if your rent is, well, that's 6,000 a year, guys. There are a lot of, we as adults talk about salary in terms of years. They're more thinking in terms of months. So divide that 60,000 by 12, you're making 5,000 a month. But if your rent is 2,500 a month and your food is 1,000 a month, and then what is your money really worth? So I like that you contextualize it, not just to give a figure, but to say, okay, what can this do? You could buy a house, you could raise a family, you could do these things. So that puts it in context. And also, they're paying you because you might die. And nobody tells us this. Nobody this when they're telling us to go become engineers? Nobody. Okay, so that's good to know. That is very good to know. Now,
I'll just say really quick that you can be in engineering and be at no risk of dying. You know, don't be intimidated by that. There are so many office engineering jobs.
Correct.
Don't feel fearful of the field.
Correct.
Yeah, because like, what's the likelihood? Like, how many plants have blown up in the past year? Jeez, please. Why calling it?
No. No. It's less about plants blowing up. But you are well, I could speak to mechanical, electrical, civil. Most times you start off doing projects, and these projects involve you working with heavy machinery, working with moving machines, rotating machines, things that could literally kill you at any point in time. So you have varying level. But I'm not scare people away.
Colin, you're scaring us.
No. But it's exciting at the same time.
Yes, sir.